It seems like Drake is stuck between Nicki and Kendrick, or maybe more accurately, between a rock and a hard place. Is this the greatest hip-hop plot twist, or has Drake been catching it? Nicki is calling him out for treachery. Kendrick's throwing shade, and Drake is probably wishing he could go back to the Hotline Bling days. Strays left and right for a hot minute now, but no one ever imagined that his old friend Nicki Minaj would also come out and drag him. Not only did she drag him, but she also leaked some evidence of Drake being a snake and betraying her. You better get ready for this, because Nick did not come to play with Drake. Recall when Drake, Nicki, and Wayne were the holy trinity of Young Money. They were like the Avengers of rap, dropping hit after hit. Drake was the golden boy, Nicki was the queen, and Wayne was the boss. They were unstoppable, ruling the charts and making money moves. But wait. Because this fairy tale is about to get messy. Word on the street says that not everything was as perfect as it seemed behind those million-dollar smiles and chart-topping collaborations. Cracks were beginning to show. Who knew that the same crew that gave us Bedrock would end up on the rocks. Not only is Young Money no longer together, but Nicki and Drake are still at odds. Let's explore the drama that began in the beginning, back when Drake was Young Money's golden boy. It seems that Lil Wayne's halo was somewhat tarnished, and the first major rift in the Young Money empire had nothing to do with music but rather with a girl's photo. The top guy is imprisoned and serving his sentence while believing his team is keeping things under control outside. Drake's getting cozy with Wayne's girl Tammy Torres. Yeah, you heard that right, Drake, the same guy who's always singing about loyalty, allegedly hooked up with his mentor's girlfriend while he was behind bars. Talk about a snake move. When Wayne found out, he was furious. Can you blame him? Imagine being in prison and hearing your protege is having fun with your girlfriend. Wayne did not mince words when he said, "This is the kind of stuff a man never wants to find out when he's locked up." It was clear that this was more than just a little spat, rather. It was the beginning of the end for Young Money's idyllic family image. The crew was taken aback by Drake's actions and wondered whether he could be trusted, if he really would ride or die for the squad, or if he was only interested in himself. The fallout was severe. The days of cheerful family images and gushing over one another on social media were over, and Wayne and Drake's relationship took a serious blow. You could feel the strain in their songs, interviews, and even posts. The interviews had ended, but here's the thing, this wasn't an isolated incident, rather, it was the beginning of Drake's dubious loyalty tour. It seems as if he couldn't resist stirring up controversy from time to time. One minute he was Mr. Nice guy, the next he was stirring up trouble everywhere. Since actions speak louder than words, Drake's whole persona was predicated on being a kind, trustworthy guy who would write you a poignant song rather than stab you in the back. However, his behavior was screaming mistrust problems. Drake's behavior after the Wayne incident established a pattern. He gained notoriety for being the guy who would smile at you before turning around and taking advantage of you. This wasn't limited to women. His loyalty in the music industry also raised questions. Meek Mill had called Drake out for using ghostwriters, and Pusha T had revealed Drake's secret son. Each time people considered the Wayne incident, they thought, maybe this is who Drake really is. But wait, it gets worse. Years later, Kendrick Lamar brought this whole mess back into the spotlight in one of his tracks. He basically said Drake's tattoo of Wayne's face doesn't make up for what he did. Talk about reopening. Old wounds. Fans started connecting the dots. They saw a pattern in Drake's behavior, especially when it came to his relationships with women and other artists. It was like every few months there was a new story about Drake betraying someone or switching sides in a beef. A Young Money dream team was falling apart, and Drake was at the center of it all. The unbreakable bond was broken, the unstoppable force stopped in its tracks, and it all started with one bad decision while Wayne was locked up. But here's the million-dollar question, was this the real Drake finally showing his true colors? Or was it just the beginning of a series of misunderstandings and bad choices? Either way, one thing was clear, the Young Money we knew and loved was never going to be the same. But if you thought Drake's drama with Wayne was bad, well, grab your popcorn, because things are about to get even messier. Drake's new collaboration with Lat is what's getting Nicki Minaj riled up. And she's not holding back in response to his latest action. Nicki didn't waste any time in letting the world know exactly how she felt about this betrayal. She went on a live chat and absolutely went off, calling Drake and another artist Ugly Boy 1 and Ugly Boy 2. But she didn't stop there, because she also threw shade at Lat. Elle isn't just another rapper, she's been Nicki's self-proclaimed rival for years. We're talking bad blood, diss tracks, the whole 9 yards, and Drake waltzed right into enemy territory like it was nothing.
So, Ugly Boy 1 and Ugly Boy 2, they know they forever gonna have a willing participant. because our girls are so desperate for this money, you know. They so desperate. If a mother tell them to go and catch a wild tuna, skin it and eat it, they would do it. You understand what I'm saying? They would teach themselves that very day how to hunt, fish, swim, kill, eat, cook, everything. You see, because...
However, this is what's really getting folks talking. This isn't the first time Drake has pulled a move like this. It seems like he has a playbook for how to get under Nicki's skin time and time again. He has sided with artists who are at odds with Nicki, almost as if he's collecting Nicki's adversaries like Pokemon cards. Recall that when Nicki and Cardi B were at each other's throats, Drake was right there working with Cardi. When Remy Massachusetts dropped that vicious diss track against Nicki, Drake was suddenly besties with Remy. It's almost like he's got a sixth sense for identifying Nicki's rivals and giving them a feature. Now, you might be thinking that Drake is just trying to maintain objectivity in all of these beefs, but come on, this is Nicki Minaj. This is the same woman who has stood by him through thick and thin and who stood by him when other rappers called him soft. Why would Drake jeopardize their relationship in favor of a business partnership with Elle when Nicki has always stayed by him and said it's all about the money? Elle is incredibly popular right now, so a song with her may have a lot of streaming value, but it's a hit tune that's valuable. Others are curious about whether there is more to this story. Perhaps Drake and Nicki had a falling out behind closed doors that we are unaware of, or perhaps Drake is attempting to convey that he is not taking sides in any of these rat feuds. If so, he has a humorous way of expressing it. Burning bridges with one of the most influential women in hip-hop. The most bizarre thing about this entire thing is how it's reopening old wounds. Fans of Drake have noticed a pattern in his past. Every time Nicki finds herself in a difficult situation, Drake finds a way to make it worse. This was the case with Wayne's Girl, and now with Elle. Not to mention, all of this is happening while Drake is embroiled in a beef with Kendrick Lamar, with Kendrick coming for him, and now Nicki calling him out. Drake's reputation is suffering. If you're wondering why the situation with Elle is so important, it's because Drake ignored Nicki for a long time. And Drake revealed during his Detroit show that he and Nicki had finally recorded a new song together. Fans were ecstatic. It was like Christmas came early for the Barbs. Drake even revealed that he and Nicki had completed the song, which is their first joint effort in a long time. The song should have been included on his album For All the Dogs, but when the album dropped, Nicki's verse was missing. Found now, Nicki ain't one to stay quiet when she's been done dirty. She went on social media and let it all out. She was hurt. And can you blame her? This wasn't just any collab. This was supposed to be a reunion of two of hip-hop's biggest names. Nicki talked about how she'd always had Drake's back even when others were coming for him. What's wild? This is how Drake's recent behavior fits into a larger context. First, he had a falling out with Kendrick, then he worked with the boy's rival, and now he's stealing a verse from Nicki's album. It seems like Drake is trying to burn every bridge in the rap industry. Some people have said that Drake is growing too big for his breasts. Sure, he's on top of the game, but is he forgetting who helped him get there? The thing that has people talking the most, though, is that Drake and Nicki's friendship is ending. They've had ups and downs in the past, but this feels different. It's one thing to disagree, but to promise someone a feature and then yank it away is cold. Some industry insiders are whispering that this could be the final nail in the coffin for Young Money as we know it. What was once hip-hop's most powerful crew is now looking more like a broken family, and Drake is the troublesome child who can't seem to stay out of trouble just when Drake thought his plate couldn't get any fuller. Kendrick Lamar chose to interrupt the celebration, and trust me when I say that he is not here to play nice. What's Kendrick's beef? Well, he's calling Drake out for some seriously shady behavior from back in the day, shading him for hooking up with Lil Wayne's girl. Kendrick didn't mince words, he went straight for the kill, calling out Drake's tattoo of Lil Wayne's face. Kendrick's throwback tattoo is noticeably darker than Drake's Six God tattoo, and it's got everyone in the hip-hop world talking. This is not only a random CD. The timing of Kendrick's call-out couldn't be worse for Drake, who is already dealing with the fallout from the Nicki situation. People are already reacting negatively to his comments, flooding him with snake emojis. Kendrick's words carry weight. He's one of the most respected voices in hip-hop, and right now he's got everyone's ears perked up waiting to see how Drake's going to respond. This Kendrick situation is not just another beef, rather, it's like the last piece of the puzzle that's exposing Drake's true colors. You have to wonder what's going through Drake's mind right now. Is he planning his comeback, working on a diss track, that will shut everyone up, or is sweating bullets wondering how he's going to get out of this mess? Drake's social media must look like a zoo right now. But here's the million-dollar question: is this the beginning of the end for Drake, or is it just another bump in the road? Some people are saying Drake's too big to fail, citing his hits for days. There's little doubt that the hip-hop community is paying attention. This isn't just about Drake anymore, it's also about loyalty, respect, and what happens when you lose sight of your roots. The shocking thing is that this might only be the tip of the iceberg if more artists start speaking out. Drake could be in for a world of hurt. It's like there's blood in the water, and the sharks are starting to circle. However, let's not forget that Kendrick has a reputation as a lyrical assassin. If he decides to go all in on Drake, it could be game over. Remember what happened to Meek Mill? Kendrick could make that look like a playground altercation. There's no such thing as negative PR, so maybe Drake is setting the scene for the greatest comeback in hip-hop history by creating all this drama while playing 4D chess, while everyone else is playing checkers. After all, what could be better than that? Drake's going on the defensive, and it's not pretty. Seems like the Six God can't handle the heat, so he's hiding behind fake accounts. Yeah, you heard that right. Drake, Mr. Certified Lover Boy himself, is allegedly running burner accounts to throw shade at other artists. Talk about a fall from grace word. Is Drake's been busy creating fake profiles to clap back at his haters? It's almost heartbreaking to see a person who used to be at the top of the game succumb to such petty methods, but when you feel cornered, you have to do what you have to do. Here's the issue: though he's behaving like a teenager who has just discovered Twitter beef, Drake is directing his attacks at more than just petty detractors. Big names like Nicki Minaj, J. Cole, and even Kendrick Lamar seem to have a hit list of everyone who has ever looked at him strangely, but rather than confronting these problems head-on like a responsible adult, he's hiding behind phony accounts with a slick appearance. Drake, the rap community, is not amused by the way he is being called out for his childish behavior. It's like seeing a train accident unfold slowly. Drake's image is steadily declining, and his antics are not helping him in any way. Drake was once well known for his catchy lyrics and #1 singles, but these days he's making news for all the wrong reasons.